Hello and welcome to this ESOL Skills for Life Entry 3 Writing Assessment lesson for Question 3, Joining Words. Please note that the joining words question may not actually be question 3, it may be question 1, 2, 3 or 4. So by the end of this lesson you will be able to analyse the grammatical structures of sentences and identify the correct missing joining word. So here is an example of the type of question, the type of sentence you will get for the joining word question. You have to choose the correct word to complete the sentence. And the main words, joining words, include after, although, because, before, during, however, since, unless, until, when, where, whether, or while. Now I will go through these one by one in a moment. And I will come back to this question at the end of the lesson. Here is a quick overview of all the words with their uses and examples. If you want to look at this in more detail, please pause the video now before I move on. So now first let's look at after. After is used to show the order of actions. So I will call you after I arrive. So the first action that needs to happen is I need to arrive, and after I will call you. So I will call you after I arrive. Although is to show something happened when it usually would not. So in this example, I missed the bus although I was early. So we would usually think if we're early, there would be no problems. However, I was early, but I missed the bus. So I missed the bus although I was early. Because shows the reason for an action. In this example, we will be late because there is a traffic jam. So the reason we're late is there is a traffic jam. So because. Now let's look at the joining word before. Before helps to show the order of actions in a sentence. So in this example, you should put on your seatbelt, number 1, before you start driving. So it's to show that the seatbelt is first and the driving is second. You should put on your seatbelt before you start driving. During. During is to show the time of an action. So in this example, she went shopping during the morning. So here we are shopping and here is the time. So during this time, the morning. However, show that the order does not matter as a joining word. So you can choose them however you want. So we're looking at all these tomatoes and it really doesn't matter how we choose them. This one first, this one second, that one third, fifth. It doesn't matter. They are all the same. So therefore you can choose them however you want to. Since shows the order of actions. So she has been happy since she started working here in 2019. So if you look at the timeline, in 2019 she started working here, and then after that she has been happy. So since this time, going forward, she has been happy. And of course there we're using the word since, a point in the past. So now let's look at unless as a joining word. So unless shows that one action is needed before another one can happen. So in the example sentence here, it says, I will not go to the barbecue unless you drive. So here's the driving sentence, you drive. So you drive, yes, I will go. You do not drive, I will not go. So the example here is, I will not go to the barbecue unless you drive. Noting that there's usually a negative, unless a positive, or vice versa. And now let's look at until as a joining word. So until shows one action starts when the other one ends. So in this example, I cannot go until the mechanic fixes my car. So when the mechanic's action has finished, he can say I can go. But this action of go will start when the mechanic's action has finished. So I cannot go until the mechanic fixes my car. When shows something happens at a particular time. So in this example, I always feel unwell when I eat junk food. So usually I feel okay. However, when I eat junk food, there is that feeling of unwell. So I always feel unwell when I eat junk food. Where shows the place or location of a particular action. So this is the campus where I go to ESOL class. So this is the campus where this action happens, the place where the action happens. This is the campus where I go to English class. Weather shows that the outcome will be the same no matter what happens. So we will be late whether we go now or in 10 minutes. So we can go now, we can go in 10 minutes, but the outcome will still be the same. We're going to be late. So we will be late whether we leave now or in 10 minutes. Again, this does not matter. The outcome will be the same. Now let's look at while. While is used to show two actions happening at the same time. It doesn't matter what tense you use, the actions are happening at the same time. For example, here at 10 o'clock. So we have one action here of exercising, another one of working. So we can say he was exercising while I was working. The actions were happening at the same time, and this example is 10 o'clock. So here is an overview of the main words that you may come across in your exam, as well as their uses and some examples. If you want to take a more detailed look at this table, you may want to pause the video now before I move on. So here we are back at the example we saw at the start of the lesson. What we're going to do now for question 3 is choose the correct word to complete the sentence below. The sentence is, Anna always spends too much money, blank, she goes shopping. So this is the action, and we have another action. So think about that when we look at the options. We have when, unless, what, or until. So working back up, we know until, it's one action stops and starts with another action. What is never really an option, it's a distractor. Unless we need one action for the second action to happen or not to happen, as the case may be. And when is talking about time, during a period. So there we have our answer, when. Anna always spends too much money when she goes shopping. And now at the end of this lesson, you are able to analyze the grammatical structures of sentences and identify the correct missing joining word.